Finally, the monster is in a cage. That was the reaction from one man who walked by me here at Church and Wellesley today. This is the neighborhood that was terrorized by a serial killer, and it was this community that raised flags with police long before Bruce McArthur was arrested. Well, today, more flags are being raised as this neighborhood begins to heal.
We've been dealing with this for many years, and now the nightmare is gone.
At the heart of Toronto's LGBTQ community, 5 new flags now hang outside the 519. Grieve, heal, resist, rise, love. I'm told these flags are a show of support for all of those impacted by Bruce McArthur's unspeakable crimes. In a statement, the Church and Wellesley Community Centre writes, the fact that this was unknown and unseen for so many years is its own inconceivable tragedy. It goes on to say, we feel some relief that those most impacted by his actions will be spared the grief of a lengthy trial.
We knew that there was a serial killer. We knew for years.
At the Second Cup, a few blocks down the street, David tells me he often saw Bruce McArthur sitting here with a cup of coffee. Did he ever stand out to you in a way that made you suspicious?
No more than the other guy over there. But I do know that some people had suspicions of him and they had reported him to the police on multiple occasions.
David was also an acquaintance of Andrew Kinsman, one of McArthur's 8 victims. They volunteered together at a local food bank. When the 49-year-old went missing, David immediately knew something more sinister was at play.
In my gut, I just knew what happened because he just fit in. So he's not the kind of person who would just disappear. And so you just, when something happens, you just know. And I just knew. And it was so sad when it turned out to be true. And many of us had actually spoken to the police, and they ignored us. Our relationship in the community with the police deteriorated severely.
McArthur had been on police radar and was even interviewed several times before, but years went by before an arrest was made, despite the fact this community was screaming, we have a serial killer. Was there ever a fear of who's next?
Oh, yeah. They discovered that he has already all his, weapons and kit to continue.
10 months ago, an internal police misconduct investigation began in connection with a past police interaction with Bruce McArthur. No details of this have been made public. When I asked police for an update today, I was told the investigation is ongoing. And right now, Ontario is reviewing a call from Mayor John Tory for a public inquiry into the police handling of the McArthur case. David believes it's a much-needed step to repair some of the damage between police and Toronto's gay community.
See, just hearing him plead guilty is good for our community. So hopefully this will close the chapter and put this behind us. Maybe we can improve the relationship with the police. Hopefully the inquiry will bring up some of these things that we weren't listened to.
Well, the 519 Community Centre here on Church Street did have grief counselors on hand today. I'm told that there is a drop-in program underway tonight where residents can come and find comfort and talk about what happened in court today. Now, coming up a little later on in the show, we take a deeper look into the psyche of a serial killer and why Toronto police continue sifting through dozens and dozens of missing persons cases. Well, we're learning more and more about Bruce McArthur and some disturbing facts of his M.O. 6 of the 8 murders were sexual in nature. McArthur often staged his victims and kept their possessions. Police also found what's described as a kill bag in his apartment. It was loaded with duct tape, rope, syringes, and surgical gloves. From what we know right now, he did confess to the 8 murders that we know of. Could there be more victims of Bruce McArthur out there?
I think with almost every serial killer, let's say 75% of them, we're stuck on that question. We're 30 years since Ted Bundy was electrocuted to death. And we're still going, okay, was it 30? Was it 32, 34? Some think it might have been 134. And we have the same questions about Gacy, even Paul Bernardo. Did he kill Elizabeth Bain? And McArthur's going to be one of those cases, unless they're the type of serial killer who's proud of it, like a BTK, for instance, and just wants to say, yeah, I did that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. There's always this question mark hanging there. I don't think he started killing at the age of 58. That would be statistically very rare, although it does not leap what's logically possible.
Now, recently, the lead detective in this case told us that Toronto police continue sifting through dozens and dozens of missing purses cases, trying to look for links to Bruce McArthur. Now, as you can imagine, it's been a very emotional day for the residents here in the village as we learn more about the 8 men who were killed by McArthur. Tonight, I can tell you the 519 had grief counselors on hand. They're also holding a drop-in session, a place for residents to come, find some comfort and discuss what happened in court today.